Another edition of Moments with MindLeaps. I'm Jesse Hawks, and I'm the USA Program Director here at MindLeaps in New York City. And we are so excited today that we are going to be joined by Emir Dauti, who is a marketing professional from North Macedonia, which is where MindLeaps has one of its programs. And I see that Emir is joining us now. Okay. And let's see, he's going to request. All right, so I'll just tell you a little bit more about Emir. And here he comes. Hey, all right. Yes. Hey, Emir.
Hello, Jesse.
How are ya?
Very good. It's so good to see you.
It's nice to see you as well. What time of day is it over there in North Macedonia?
It's 10 p.m. It's kind of cold. Winter is approaching.
Well, it's also Friday night, so thank you so much for spending your Friday night with us here at MindLeaps.
Thank you so much for having me tonight. Thank you for the kind words and the nice introduction. It's truly an honor to be part of this week's Moments with MindLeaps. And hello over there to everyone joining. Hi, Rebecca.
Yes. We have people joining from all over the world. Rebecca's in Guinea, and we're very excited to have her and all the other folks who support MindLeaps and who are very interested in hearing more about people who are related to MindLeaps in some way, shape, or form, who have an interest in our programming or who work in the same field. And you happen to be an alumnus of our virtual academy in North Macedonia. But if you will, I will also share a little bit more about Emir's background, because it's quite impressive here. So Emir is a marketing professional based out of Skopje, North Macedonia, and he works for one of the biggest corporations in North Macedonia, which has a ski resort, where I hear Emir loves skiing but doesn't do a lot because he works really hard. Little birdie told me that one. And he is also currently pursuing a master's degree in marketing in Skopje. And he loves helping startup businesses and enterprises with their marketing campaigns and helping them innovate digitally. He does some volunteering. And as I mentioned, he joined the MindLeaps Virtual Academy communication course during the COVID-19 pandemic, learning with youth from around North Macedonia online, with instructors from all over the world and North Macedonia as well. So we're thrilled to have you here and to have a nice conversation this evening with you about your country, how you view the role of youth in your country, and a little bit more about your own passion for marketing as well.
Jesse, honestly, when you started mentioning everything, I honestly didn't know that I do that much. First of all, before I introduce my country, I want to thank everyone for making the mission of MindLeaps possible here in North Macedonia, the staff back in the USA, donors all around the world, and different partners such as the US Embassy of North Macedonia over here for trusting in the cause of MindLeaps. Actually, I'm from Skopje. I'm born and raised here, studied here, still studying my master's degree, pursuing the master's degree in the field of marketing. I'm working also in Skopje. And that's the reason for me being included actually to MindLeaps. So to bring back to the youth of Skopje. And for those wondering where Skopje is the capital of North Macedonia, a country located in southeastern Europe, a country in the Balkan Peninsula, rich in the past, in the history. Probably you as well know as an experienced historian, and a country with a promising future. I could say that Macedonia is rich in its biodiversity and has different ethnicities and cultures which make this country unique by its own, especially the youth, besides all, the energetic youth, willing to work together. I mean, different ethnicities, cultures, combining different experiences to achieve a change, a positive change on the new generations, and change mindsets.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, I sadly I haven't had a chance to visit North Macedonia yet. And however, I have been to the region, to Bosnia Herzegovina several times. I'm actually wearing a shirt that I bought in a fashion store in Samski Most, Bosnia Herzegovina, of all places, in honor of our interview today. And I think you were asking me in our prep earlier, where we were talking about how my impressions of the region, and I just, when you're there, you understand the history and how much people have been through, and the spirit of the people is quite remarkable. And I also am always struck by the wonderful sense of humor that I feel when I'm talking with people from the region. It's a beautiful experience. I also like the food. But let me get back to talking a little bit more about North Macedonia, and what are some of you've talked a little bit about the positive aspects of life there. I would love to hear more about that if you want to share more. Also, what are some of the challenges that young people are facing today in your society?
Well, Jesse, they say that if you mention a problem, you better bring a solution with it or propose a solution. So I would say the biggest issue, not a problem, in our country is the youth unemployment. The unemployment rate in Macedonia is very high. Among us, the youth it's much worse. Knowing the educational system in our country and the opportunities that are offered for the youth. So I can say that I have been very lucky to be able to work for the biggest corporation that you have mentioned earlier. And I can make sure everyone that the youth in North Macedonia has qualities to make an impact. They can make a change. I think that the youth in our country needs an inspiring and helping hand, additional motivation or a motivator to help them continue their started path to success. That's probably how I got inspired to go through the journey I'm currently in and do things I currently do, which when I heard you, they sounded a lot, but to me they were like regular daily things. And that includes the mission and vision of MindLeaps operating in North Macedonia. And this is where, of course, MindLeaps come to play. And that's how I got to know MindLeaps back during the COVID lockdown in the communications course with Tanya, which brings me to say that MindLeaps and its programs here in North Macedonia, not mentioning all around the world, but currently here in Macedonia, gives an opportunity to youth, to the Macedonian youth, which is, I would say, at-risk youth, to help them further develop and get to know different cultures, knowing that MindLeaps also operates in Africa and all around the world, and meet new people and being able to exchange cultural diversity with them. It's a key to developing youth for an emerging economy country as Macedonia is right now. Mm-hmm. So I would encourage all the youth to follow the MindLeaps program and be part of the alumni after finishing their courses.
Rebecca, I think we found our marketer here, our spokesman. Yeah, for those who don't know, and I don't know that much about North Macedonia myself, but what I understand is that there are levels of segregation in the society, which, like in other parts of the Balkans, like in Bosnia, are sort of written into the structure of society, that you have one school for one religious or ethnic group over here, and then you have another over here, and that is really ingrained in the society, and so that can be it can be a challenge when trying to operate in a pluralistic, democratic society that's joining the EU and other things like this. So I'm curious to know a little bit more about how you specifically think youth can overcome that. Is it about connecting with other cultures outside of North Macedonia? Is it about connecting with each other?
Jesse, I think that the youth, our youth, should start, and actually, it is already started with having MindLeaps for over a period of time here in Macedonia, which helps the youth connect each other and share experience between them. That is the only path to a more resilient youth and to a more successful future of our country. And knowing that I myself have studied in a high school where we were divided. When I say divided, I mean we could even not hang out with other ethnicities. Makes you think, as probably I could say a future parent, of where would you send your kid to an education, and where will that kid have its proper education. So as I said before, here MindLeaps comes to play with all the different programs for different youth interested in computer science, interested in business and marketing, in poetry. So
yeah, great. And you, with your background in marketing, I wanted to probe that a little bit more. People out there might be interested in just like, how did Emir Dauti get interested in marketing? Like, where did that come from in your life?
I've always wondered as a kid, because I didn't even know that I would study marketing or that I will work in this sector. I would say probably I would work in finance, or I would study economy or business administration. But being a curious kid that I was, and asking a lot of questions, I asked myself about the psychology behind the ads I was encountering on television back in the day, where there was no internet in our country. So that was a spark that lighted on me, and that initiated me to go and further study the marketing, which I immediately fell in love, and is currently a huge role in everything we see and touch right now in the real world, knowing that the implications which marketing can have on human behavior, especially now when everybody has their smartphones, and we can see a different set of ads coming to the youth, especially. I think that this is the main reason I became a marketer.
Yeah, and I think we were talking a little earlier about how marketing has such a power, not only over the individual who's making the purchase of whatever is being marketed to them, but also over the society, because everybody's seeing this billboard, or everybody is seeing that commercial. And now a lot of people are seeing like little ads or little things that come into their phone, but they're carefully curated and crafted for a particular audience to influence people's thinking. And it can be a challenge for societies that are trying to overcome stereotyping and discrimination. We're we're also victims to that here in the United States, capitalism and marketing being rampant here as well. I think this relates a little bit to the course that you're probably going to be engaging in just a short while with MindLeaps. There's another virtual academy program coming up that's so focused on cybersecurity and fake news. And even though it hasn't started yet, I was curious to know what specific issues are you interested in learning about, or what are some of the issues facing youth related to that in your country today and in your region?
Talking from a business standing point, the youth market is critical because most of them have buying power, influencing the spending on their parents. Also, the youth, they don't fall easily for marketing gimmicks, and they can smell selling from a mile away. So to interest the youth, we need to be very careful on dealing with them. And also they do not like people telling them what to do. So this comes to the question which you asked: what would the youth be interested in more? It's I think differentiating fake news. I think that is the crucial part of the course, as much as it's the computer science and cybersecurity. Because when you can differentiate something which is not good for your cyber health, and it's crucial. It's a crucial role on your journey to the online world.
Absolutely, and I think there's been some instances in the Balkan region of youth being recruited into even going overseas and fighting in wars, extremism situations, and that is a real challenge. Just like in the United States, we have some of that, but we also have right now facing the issue of white supremacy and extremism in that regard. That we're dealing with right now here. It's a big part of the debate and the struggle that youth are facing as they engage with these social media tools. Do you have a favorite social media tool that you like to use on a regular basis?
Well, actually, it's Instagram. I use it privately. I use it to manage all the social media accounts for the business. But seeing how the TikTok community is growing right now, and how does TikTok implicate in, I would say, business-wise and to the psychology of the youth, you then can rethink your strategies on the impact you can make, and start thinking about, wait a moment, pictures went out of the game in a second. So videos came to play, and I think right now TikTok is booming, but it should probably be filtered for, especially for the youth, because as you mentioned, knowing from a place where I come, the youth is recruited online and offline also, for having to have a radical thinking, and it is recruited to extremism, which I would say comes the new course of MindLeaps to differentiate that news, and cybersecurity is probably the key to it.
Wonderful. Well, we'll look forward to that. I know that is the program still in enrollment there in North Macedonia?
Yes, it is, and I cannot wait to start the program and learn something from the professor itself, Mr. Shpotim Latifi.
TikTok. What do you think is the next frontier? Is virtual reality a big thing in North Macedonia these days?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, especially North Macedonia is far behind virtual reality, if not half of the world. But we'll see in the upcoming period. I think that is a big leap towards the future. I think it should be studied a little bit before it actually presents itself and people start using it. But definitely, it will be the way of life, the way of how we will live our life, and how the community will interact between itself.
Excellent. Well, I think we've gone through all the questions that I had today. I don't know if you have any other questions for me or anything you wanted to touch on.
Well, you mentioned before that the shirt you're wearing comes from the Balkans. So does that bring any memory of coming here?
Yeah, for sure. When I was working with a group called Global Youth Connect, we partnered with a group called the Center for Peace Building in Sanski Most in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And we would run what we called human rights delegations, which began with like a learning community of youth, like the virtual academy, but in person, to talk about peace building and human rights. And it brought youth from around the world, the United States, together with youth from Bosnia, from all different parts of Bosnia, different provinces, of course. And so we would do a lot of touring and visiting sites and talking about what are some of the organizations doing on the ground to advance human rights issues in Bosnia today. So that was just a wonderful, beautiful experience, and I met so many great people during that program and got a nice fashionable shirt. But yeah, no, I absolutely would love to come back to the region. And again, the spirit there is really strong, as is the coffee, which I enjoy.
Yeah. Which you would probably definitely recommend to everyone coming to the Balkans.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Emir. I'm looking forward to seeing how the program proceeds there in North Macedonia, and I know we'll be seeing you again in future MindLeaps programs. And I just want to thank you so much for sharing more about your experience as a young person in North Macedonia today. It's an inspiring place, and you're an inspiring person. I think the connection between marketing and social justice is one that we have to recognize, you know, because it can be used for ill. It can be used for the wrong reasons. And a lot of times people want to sort of shy away from marketing. They want to kind of, like me, I'm kind of a theater guy. I want to like write a play or do something over here, that write a poem. But like when you're in the thick of it and you're selling goods or you're selling a resort or whatever it is that you're doing, you know, you have to be thinking about the impact that your message is having. And I think that you are a representative of that considerate work.
Thank you very much, Jesse. Thank you also for having me tonight. It was really an honor to be part of this weekly Moments with MindLeaps.
All right. Well, want to send greetings to everybody who has joined us. I'm sorry I haven't replied to everybody's remarks. This is only my second Moments with MindLeaps, so and my only second Instagram live event. So thank you for joining me for this, Emir and everybody else. Emir, I hope you have a wonderful Friday evening. Are you going out dancing?
Well, it's kind of late tonight, but probably tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Do they dance now in North Macedonia, or is it all? Is everything closed down?
No, the COVID measures are relieved right now. By entering closed places, you are required to have 2 doses, a certificate which proves that you have 2 doses of vaccines.
Yeah,
so,
in New York. Yeah. Very good. Well, stay strong and stay safe regardless, and we'll be looking forward to interacting again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody for joining. Have a great weekend.